What?
I have started recording, Mr. Anthony.
Mister, your voice cut out. To write what?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mister.
Yes, Mister. Can you
To
hear me
write
now?
what? Your voice cut out.
Okay, great. Good morning, grade 8. Today we are continuing with writing an argument and paragraph writing, and we'll be discussing how to introduce evidence, and we will be discussing transitional words, and then hopefully looking at a paragraph or a argumentative essay, because by the end of the class I want us to understand how to and what we're looking for in a argumentative essay. I will be asking everyone to provide an introduction and body paragraph for Thursday's class. So today we're just going to be discussing exactly what what goes inside and what we're looking for in your paragraphs. So let's start by reading.
Can I go
I will
just for a
start
minute?
with Abdulaziz. Yes,
Yes.
I'll start with
Sir,
Abdulaziz.
Mister, I need to go.
So,
Bring me some water.
no problems. No problems. Let's start. Here you go. Abdulaziz, do you want to start here? When do I need to use an argument?
Yes. When do I need to use an argument? The purpose of an argument is to get others to believe what is you are asserting or claiming. This means you don't need an argument if you are just describing something, listing certain items, explaining how something works, or just identifying key points or factors. However, you do really need to use an argument when the point, idea, position you are making may not be well known or may not be well accepted. It is not obviously true, or where you know or expect there is some disagreement or alternative perspective, point of view. Because of this, we have to give reasons and evidences to support our position or claim.
Right.
Essay topics often ask us to take a position on a topic. Is what?
Privatization?
Privatization better than public ownership for developing countries? Why do nurses need to be culturally sensitive to answer these questions? We need to decide what position or claim we hold and then defend by supporting your claim by using reasons and evidences. This means we need to present a well-reasoned argument.
Great. Good job, Abdulaziz. Very, very good reading. So, to summarize this, two paragraphs, we need to give reasons and evidence to support our claim. So that's very, very important that we have a position. So a claim is our position. Like your claim, Abdulaziz, was that your claim was that the garbage is devastating our environment, or is a bad thing. So that was your position, correct?
Yes.
So you then got evidence that supported your claim, and it gave reasons. So that was really good. So that made your argument more. It gave your argument strength by having these reasons and evidence. So I'm going to read the next part just because I want we don't have a lot of time today. I want us to get down to a reading that we can discuss. A good argument should be convincing. The main purpose. You should find yourself believing the claim, or at least finding the conclusion reasonable. This entails several things: that the premises are acceptable or reasonable and likely to be true, that the evidence or reasons are relevant, directly support the claim, that the reasons provide sufficient enough grounds to lead us, the readers, to accept the claim. These are called the acceptability, relevance, and grounds conditions of an argument. If an argument satisfies these three conditions, it is likely to be a good argument. So these are three things that make a good argument. So we need to understand our claim. I'll move on to Yahya. Can you please read the next part for me?
Yes. Once you have decided your position.
Mr. Anthony, I've just sent you the list
Okay,
of
great.
attendance.
Okay. Yahya, you can continue reading. I'll I have a list though now that I will follow, but you can read.
Yeah, but once you've decided your position, you need to work out how you will put forward your point of view in a well reasoned and objective. Not by that way. Ask yourself, what made me come to this conclusion? What did I find convincing? What did I find problematic? These would be the reasons that justify your claim or conclusion. If you find the reason convincing, persuade, then so should the person reading your essay. Remember to knowledge all the sources you access to get your information. Provide the references.
Good, very good, Yahya. So I'll just quickly go over the part that we missed. Let's have a look. So you need to argue and support your position. So this is very important. You can say whatever you like in your essays, but it doesn't have value or meaning unless it's supported. So the support you give to your argument is very important for writing a good argument. This support and evidence is very, very important. And you said it has to be convincing and persuasive, because that is what we're going to be writing, persuasive writing. You need to persuade, meaning you need to convince the audience, the reader, that your point has value and it has meaning, because sometimes you might read something and it might not have a lot of value to it. You know, you can read something. Yes, go on. Who was this?
Hamid. You can't convince him by giving him like reasons and evidence, and he have to be convinced when you give him facts, because facts are something that has already happened.
Yes, facts is something that's it's conclusive evidence. You know,
Yes.
You can't go against these facts. You know,
Yes.
I mean, you can say whatever you like, but facts are, yes, very good. Was that Hamid?
Yes, Hamid.
Yeah. Very good, Hamid. So yeah, these facts are very important. So let's read this next section. I'll go to the list. And we now will go to Mohammed Jabreen. Can you hear me, Mohammed Jabreen?
Yes.
Okay, I will go to, okay, yeah, number 1.
Make it very clear what position or point of view you are taking. What will you be claiming or arguing? Work out what will support your case. Include supporting evidence, reasons, incidents,
Anecdotes.
Mm-hmm. Research findings, an expert's idea, quotations, facts, etc.
Very good. Acknowledge.
Acknowledge counter arguments, a different or even opposing point of view, counter evidence. Use the right language, discourse marker.
Very good. So in an argumentative essay, we have 2 body paragraphs that are supporting our idea, and 1 paragraph, or the 3rd paragraph, is usually the counter argument, and it's an opposing idea. This gives the reader more, I guess, knowledge, and it helps, I guess, it helps to provide the reader a sense of understanding the topic, because you're just saying that that it's good. You have to acknowledge that there are opposing opinions to every topic. One person might have one opinion, another person might have another opinion. So very good reading. I will move on to Maltaz. Can you please read for me from 3 to 5? Yeah. Maltaz?
Sorry, I was moving from
That's
to
okay.
a quiet place. Draw out the implications, consequences, or effects. Why am I saying this here? What is the point I am trying to make? What does this evidence show? Comment on what you are doing and what you include as you write. Provide guidance to your reader. Make sure your essay has a good, clear, logical structure.
Very good. So providing guidance to your reader is very important. You want to guide your reader to your points. You know, you're not just going to start off with your main points. You know, you're not just going to start off by saying, for example, well,
The main point of an essay, you should start from something that guide the reader to the main point.
Exactly. Very good. This is Hamad. Very good.
Yes.
You need to have a logical structure. So,
Mister, I don't understand how you should
So-
guide your reader.
for example, in the reading we're going to read, you'll see that it's a bit broad. The introduction is very broad. The topic sentence doesn't have a clear, a clear set, I guess, point of view. It's a little bit broad, but Mr. Omar was explaining this is the funnel structure, and then it guides us to the main points. So we'll look at this when we get to the paragraph. And this is one thing you, sorry, was it, who was reading for me before? Moses. So make your essay have a good, clear, logical structure, and then
Your points are relevant, related to, or directly support the claim and the topic. They lead towards the conclusion. It is easy to follow where you are heading and
very
why.
good. Very, very good. So now we're going to talk about some of the language that we see inside our essay, because we need to use good transitional words and good supporting or opposing sets of or types of words. So I will ask. And sorry, let me just get my list.
Mr. Anthony, we have now Abdullah Faisal and Omar and Muhammad Lagil. Have you ticked them?
No. Abdullah Faisal.
Abdullah Faisal.
No, not this one.
Abdullah Faisal. And we had, if anyone sees your name, not ticked.
Me.
Who?
Muhammad Lagil, yeah.
Number 8.
8.
13, Mr.
And 13. Okay, great. All right, so let me ask, who have I missed?
Mister, you put a tick on Elias's name and he's not here.
He's not here.
Oh, I thought I saw Elias before.
He's number 3.
Number 3. I did see Elias before. He was here.
No, he's not here.
He's not here anymore. Okay. So I will then ask. Oh, we'll go back to Abdullah Faisal. Abdullah Faisal.
Yes.
Okay. Can you please?
Good morning, Abdullah. So long no see, man.
Good morning.
Where have you been all this time? Okay.
And eat.
Anyway, we're
Okay,
very
from
happy
where?
to have you with us this morning.
Thank you.
So can you please read for me from here and
Okay.
into here?
Okay. Just making a claim and presenting evidence to support the claim will not qualify as an argument unless you use the right connectives,
Connectives. Mhm.
indicator words or
Indicator words.
words or discourse
Discourse
markers. This will show the logical connections between books and previous research in the field of knowledge, and the statement you are making, it will indicate why you have included a particular piece of information and its relevance to your overall claim.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So they are making a point that it's not, you need to have, make logical connections between your ideas, so your thoughts, your own thoughts, and then you need to relate these thoughts and connect them using connectives, or connection words, indicator words, or discourse markers. And discourse markers, discourse is meaning, what was discourse leading the reader to point what's coming up next? Like, was that what discourse markers was, Mr. Omar?
Yes, Mr. Anthony?
Discourse markers, was that leading the reader from,
Yeah, these are like signals that signals what we're going to do next. For example, if you're going to provide an evidence, they signal that. If you're going to provide a reason, they signal that. If you're going to provide an example, they give us signals. Like signals.
Yes. So these are like signaling words, guys. So these are very important, and we're going to look at them next. So the literature here isn't talking about, it's talking literature as books and journals. So the previous research, not the other form of literature where we're talking about a broad context, the art, like we're talking about specific books and journals and previous research as literature. Okay, great. So let us ask now Mohammed Agil. Okay. Can you please read for me the next part?
Okay. For supporting premises is, you need to use words like introduce the reason why. Because of given that the reason is that not only but also whether or not due to since in order that if then.
Great. So these supporting premises, we use these, I guess, to help the reader provide more
the reason why.
The reason, yeah, some reasons, and I guess it just guides, guides the reader to your point. So can you look at the examples, and then also we'll actually continue on and read.
Okay. Examples. Given that the government should spend more money on healthcare.
Yes. So be using the transitional cause, or given that, and then there'll be your point of view. So it's important, one bit of information to another bit of information. So because or given that. So these are used, you can use any of these, whether or not, due to, in order to, in order that. So these are good words to use, good linking words. And what about for conclusions? This was for, yeah, supporting, and this is now the conclusions.
For conclusions, you need to use words like so. Given that wearing a seatbelt reduces the risk of injury, then wearing a seatbelt reduces the risk of injury. Therefore,
Or to
Mr.
conclude
Anthony,
your,
don't you think it's going to be more helpful if you give or you ask the lads to give example, or you give them examples yourself for one or two phrases?
okay, yeah, that's a good idea. So let's try work on then. Let's try work on examples for supporting premises. So I'll ask. Let me get to my list. I will ask now. Knife.
Yes, Mister.
Let's come up with.
Skip Muhammad Jibreen. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Let's come up with an idea together. So, think of something like an idea about something, and then we'll connect it using one of these words. So, if you look at their example, the government should spend more money on health care. So what about something to do, anything that you can think of, and then we'll use one of the transitional words or linking.
Can I answer, Mister?
I don't have something in my mind.
Yes. Mohammed, you can answer yes.
Coronavirus is spreading, therefore we should stay at home.
Very good.
But Mister, this is not for premises, it's for conclusion.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You're for.
No, Mr. Anthony.
It's okay. We
It's
should
a conclusion.
And then I'll put it onto the.
Guys, keep in mind, by conclusion here, we don't mean like the concluding part of a paragraph. We're talking about when you make conclusion based on information you previously provided.
Yes.
You see what I mean? We're not talking about conclusion like the conclusion of a paragraph here.
So is this correct, Mr. The one
like,
I did?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because you made a statement here that coronavirus is spreading, right? And what's the conclusion for that? What conclusion can we make as readers here? That we need to stay at home. Very good. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're talking about making conclusion here.
So let's move to, who did I skip? Did I skip Mohammed Jibreen or did I skip?
Yes.
So can you think of something for a supporting premises?
I have one.
Who has one?
Can I use pollution?
Who has one? If you have one, just tell me.
Yes, I have. I have one.
Okay, Hamad, yes.
Yes. School is important because we need to study.
Because we
need to study.
Yeah, perfect.
Simple. Here, Hamad is giving a reason.
Giving a reason.
The reason
school is important. We need to study.
Yeah. So, very good. So these are types of things that we'll be using in our argumentative writing style, persuasive writing style. Great. So let me ask now, I will ask.
I think it's Omar's turn.
Omar, Saleh,
Yes. We stopped
Yes,
the last
Mr.
time we stopped at knife.
can you please
Yes.
read using the right language for me?
Using the right language. The introduction is usually the only place where you can use unless you are
I, the
writing
pronoun I, because
I.
yeah, Mr. Anthony is gonna explain now.
I think it's
Yes.
So you because remember we are talking about academic writing here, Aziz. You need to differentiate between this casual writing and academic writing.
Yeah.
So we're talking
Academic,
about academic
like
writing.
formal, right?
Yes, formal writing. Very good. So when writing an academic piece, you shouldn't use the pronoun I unless it is at the very beginning or the introduction, the introductory part. And also, Mr. Anthony is going to show you how you use it. You got it?
Yes.
Unless you are writing a self-reflective paper which asks for your personal view or reaction. Even then, some lecturers prefer you not to use it at all. Avoid using expressions like it, in my opinion, or I think. The following give example of how to use personal I. So what is this, Mr.?
I appropriately.
What is opportunity, Mr.?
Like in a proper way.
Appropriately
in a proper way. That's suitable
correctly.
to the
It's
context.
another word for correctly.
Proper way.
Proper way.
And how to avoid using it altogether.
Very good. So stop there, Omar. So lots of writing that you're going to be doing, boys, you know, in the next few years will not contain I. So you know, it's very easy to say, in my opinion, you know, things that you'll be doing, you won't be allowed to use I. So in this paper, you know, people might say, I discuss, will discuss, but instead you might say something like, this paper will discuss the importance of proper.
Yeah, we'll see alternatives to these phrases in a minute. In the same guide here.
Yes. So these words are only used in self-reflective writings, and our argumentative essays will be different. So let's have a look at the changing. Instead of using I, let's now ask someone to explain this. We're running low on time. Let's move to Saud Adel. Can you hear me, Saud Adel? Saud Turkey?
Has Saud Adel dropped out?
I think so.
It shows
No,
that
still
he's
here.
still here.
And Saud Turkey too.
They both left?
No, they're here. They're here.
Yeah.
Adel, can you hear Saud Adel?
Saud? Hello? Saud?
Yes.
Right.
Where have you been, Saud?
I was here the whole time, but I could not unmute.
Saud, can you please read for me how to use I or by changing the subject?
Which one, me or him?
Let's start with Adel.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, can you please read this for me?
I read
Yes.
the use of I
can the subject try to be uh, objective rather than a subject, not from your opinion of view.
Point of view. Yeah. So
This paper discuss this is used
essay.
Forward the claim that the paper argues that
Yeah.
the finding include indicated the idea was to the
intention
of the research was.
Yeah, the intention of the research was. So very good. So these are ways that we can use, will not use I, because we're not expected, or we don't want our writing to sound informal. We want to be objective rather than subjective. Subjective is used. Subjective type of writing is really informal, and it's another way to say it's a type of informal way to write. But yeah, we want to be objective, so we want to use not use I. So these are ways that we can do this. So very, very good, Saladil. Okay, we're running low on time, so I might read for a little bit, and then I will explain how to cite the evidence. Okay, so using the passive voice, it will be argued that 4 articles will be analyzed, 8 nurses were interviewed, it was found that. So again, we're using a passive style of writing, but we're not using I. It was, instead of saying I was able to find, you would say it was found that. Or I interviewed I was able to interview 8 nurses. You would say 8 nurses were interviewed. But these are, again, just changing the subject away from I. So it's important to use discourse markers. Range of different words you can use that indicate the logical connections between your ideas, your attitude to the research you have included, and the relationship between the evidence and what you are claiming. These are called logical connectives, and, but, or, either. So you can use the fanboys too. We've looked at connective conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. Below are some useful examples. These guys is how we introduce our evidence. So we don't just say, this is a good, correct way to introduce our evidence. We usually have the author, who is Smith, and we have, this says et al., which is a Latin term meaning all the others or all the rest. And then we have, if there's more than one author, or if there's more than, 3 authors, I think we use et al. And then we have the year that it was published and the page number. So this is a in-text citation that we use in our referencing, our in-text referencing. We also can say Smith claims that, and then you might paraphrase and say something about that you've found that's important and related to your article. So you might have Smith claims that the driving age needs to be reduced to 16. I don't know. You can, whatever your topic may be, but see how this is how you introduce your evidence, by saying Smith claims that, Smith states that, or according to. This is a very very used introduction or a way to introduce your evidence. So you might say, you can use any of these. Research findings indicate, this indicates that. Very, very important ways to introduce your evidence, guys. Now I want to we've got some agreement. We're running very low on time, so Mr. Omar, do you think I should quickly explain what I would like for the boys to do for the next few days?
Yes, because we only have 3 minutes in our hands.
Okay, guys. We will send you this document. We still have some more to go over. However, I want us to look at this sample argument. So I'm just going to quickly explain that here is an introduction sentence, and they've got some research evidence, and they've also used according to researchers, and they've got their evidence cited. But what I want you guys to do is to come up with a topic sentence, and we've decided that it can be any topic sentence that you choose, and any topic that you choose. And we want you to write an introduction paragraph and also your body paragraph 1, which is supporting evidence or supporting your claim. Because we're writing argumentative, later on we will be writing a counter argument. However, what I would like you guys to do is to come up with a topic. So I mean, you could use the globalization topic if you wanted to. However, and then select one of these examples. So business, sport, social media, or you can use any topic that you choose. Like Abdulaziz chose garbage and environment. He might want to change it up a little bit, but he's used that. And we want you to create an introduction paragraph and also a body paragraph 1. So I will be wanting you guys to send this to me before. I'm thinking, Wednesday night, the latest would be good, so that I can have a look at it and we can discuss each student's work. And we're not going to give you a grade. We just want to guide you to the correct way of or style of writing. And yes, do you have any questions about what's expected?
Nothing. What word of the day, Mr.?
You want to talk about the word of the day? Yes, Aziz. Do you have the word of the day?
Odd. 1 minute.
If you like, you could use some of these words in your writing.
Delphic.
It is Delphic. Unclear in meaning and difficult to understand. Amphibious. What does amphibious mean?
Amphibious.
Amphibious. What does
Amphibious. Amphibious is when you're. It's like a water. It's when you're can be in the water. What's the actual, Mr. Omer, what's the actual term?
Amphibian. Amphibian.
Amphibian. Yeah.
Yes, it's like frogs.
Barma'i, something that can survive both in water and on land.
No, this is amphibian. Here, amphibious.
Amphibious, I think IUS.
A-M-B-I-G-U.
Relating to living in or suited for both living in land and water.
It's not this, Mr.
Okay.
A-M-B, not B.
B.
Yes.
A and B.
And I-G.
Ambiguous. B. Where did you get the F?
Oh, did you say ambiguous?
Ambiguous.
That's mysterious.
Yes.
Something which is not clear.
Unclear in meaning and difficult to understand. Ambiguous or clear.
So not having one obvious meaning, not clear.
That's the word of the day.
Delphic.
The word is Delphic, which means ambiguous.
So
the synonym to this word is Delphic, did you say?
Yes.
Delphic.
Mr. Anthony, I'm gonna have to stop the recording.
No problems. Boys, so feel free to write about any topic you like, and don't be ashamed to make mistakes, just we want to get you writing and